Hello and welcome. My name is Priya Joda and I'm a mindset coach. So today I'm going to share with you a few tips and habits that have helped me and still are helping me to prevent and also to overcome any negative thoughts, but also the negativity that surrounds me. Okay, so when you are in what seems like a negative situation, you need to find out what's good in that. If you've had a failure, then things might look so negative and there are lots of unhelpful thoughts that may start to arise and threaten to fill your view of the situation. So to beat this, I want you to just ask yourself this question, okay? Like questions that is going to help you to feel better, but also to learn so that you can grow. Questions like, what's one good thing about this situation? Just think about it. What's one good thing about the situation that you're having right now? What's one thing that you can do differently the next time to likely have a better outcome? What's one thing you can learn from this whole situation? And how would your best friend support and help you in this particular situation? Okay, so you need to just have this reminder. Okay, people don't care that much about what you say or what you do. It's easy to fall into negative thoughts when you think about what people may say or what people may think if you do or if you do not do something, right? So what happens is that when you think about what people are going to think about you, you zap your personal power, and that you may get trapped into that analysis paralysis. Okay, so you get stuck in your head and in your thought, like that will drag you away from what you want, from also the reality. Okay, because the truth is that people, they don't care that much time, that much, they don't really have time and attention to or energy to talk about what you do, because they are so busy with their own life. They have their hands and minds full with their kids, their jobs, their pets, their hobbies, their own fears, their own concern, responsibilities, worries. Like, for example, what people may think of them, they don't really care. Okay, so this realization and this reminder can help you to set yourself free from all the constraints that you may create in your own mind, and also help you to start taking care of yourself, and also to take like very small and also bigger steps towards what deep down you want in life. Okay, and it's each time you have a negative thought, challenge the thought. Okay, one thing that I like to do when a negative thought taps me on the shoulder and tries to start growing in my mind is to simply question that thought. So I'll ask myself this question, like, should I take you seriously? Like, I'll talk to that negative thought, like, should I take you seriously, or am I 100% sure that whatever I'm thinking right now, is it true and is it helpful? So this most often leads me to say, well, no, I honestly shouldn't take you seriously, because at that moment in time, I'm tired, okay, I'm hungry, or I'm overworked. And so what happens is that there are lots of negativity that can really try to cloud my mind if I just focus right now on that energy, that negative energy. Or I'm getting too focused on one small mistake or one bad day, instead of focusing on the other 95% of my life that tends to be positive. I'm just focusing on that one thing that, like if there's 10 things that people has done. Like normally we as human will focus on one thing that hasn't turned right. Okay, so sometimes these questions, it helps you, because if you did one small thing, then doesn't mean that, if you did one small thing like not really well, doesn't mean that everything is bad, because that one small thing doesn't mean that things will get worse and stay like that for a long time. Not if you choose optimism and to take like very small steps forward. Now, this question gives you like a reality check, and it grounds you to a level-headed perspective again. So you can ask yourself this question. And also it's very important that you replace the negativity in your environment, in your surroundings. So what you let into your mind in your everyday life will have a big effect on you. So stop questioning what you allow in, okay? And really ask yourself, what are the free sources of negativity in your life? So what are the free sources of negativity in my life? There can be like, people, could be social media, magazines, newspapers. There are so many negativity around. So you can just ask yourself this question. Ask yourself, what can I do to spend less time with these free sources this week? Now, if you can find ways to do that right now, for all three of them, then just take a smaller step and focus on doing that. Okay, doing that with just one of these sources. So you focus on one thing that is going to help you. Okay, then spend the time you've freed up this week on more like positive sources, constructive sources, and people that are already in your life or that you want to explore and perhaps make a new part of it. So just spend your time with whatever helps you. Okay, so if you find you are focusing more on drama, or if you watch all those TV shows that is full of drama and it's making you feel negative, then you need to stop it. Okay, and also to stop a small negative thought from becoming a big monster in your mind, you need to confront it early, or you can just zoom out. Okay, do that by asking yourself the question like, will this matter in 2 years, in 5 years, or even 5 weeks? If it's not going to matter, then why do you spend your precious energy and time focusing on that? Okay, so this question, this answer is likely in most cases that it won't, and that you are only starting to make a mountain out of a molehill. Or just think about this question. It will help you to think about, okay, I'm angry right now, so am I going to waste my time just thinking about it? Okay, and also keep negative thoughts that are starting to cloud your whole mind, bottle up. That won't help you. Okay, so let them out. Talk the situation or your thoughts over with someone that you're close to. Okay, just venting for a few minutes can often help you to see the situation in a new perspective, in new light. Okay, or if not, then a conversation about it where the two of you find a more constructive, a more useful perspective, and perhaps the start of an action plan can be both relieving and also it can be recharging as well. Or you have a journal, write it down, because 50% of what you're going to write will help to unclutter your mind. Okay, and when you're tapping into negative thinking, then you're often thinking about something that's in the past or in the future, something that happened, okay, or something that may happen. So to snap out of that, just put your attention full into this moment instead, into what's here right now. Like right now, like you can pinch yourself, you notice that you're breathing, right? So start making it a habit to spend more of your time in the present moment, and you will, in my experience, naturally have less negative thoughts and be more open, be more constructive. So a couple of ways to bring yourself back to being mindful and in this moment. First, focus only on your breathing. How you're breathing. Are you breathing from the nostril or from the mouth? Are you breathing from the chest, from the abdomen? Is your breath shallow or deep? Just take 1 or 2 minutes, pause right now, and take a little deeper breath than you usually do. Okay? Make sure you're breathing with your stomach and free your nose. So each time you breathe in, your stomach goes out. You breathe in, then you breathe out. Okay? So you can just place one hand on the chest and the other one on the abdomen. You close your eyes for just 2 minutes, just to get your perspective clear. Okay? And during this time, just continue to breathe in and out through the nose. Take in the world around you. Take 1 or 2 minutes, just, breathe. And also 1 or 2 minutes, break. Get out of your head and put your attention on what's around you right now. Okay? So like you can say when you're feeling anxious, you can do this grounding exercise. And also focus on the people walking by outside your window. Like the words, the noises from the street, the smells around you, the sun shining in, warming your skin. Focus on your body weighties, weights sitting, weights lying down, your skin against your clothes. Just be here right now, just for 2 minutes. Okay? And I find that when I'm having trouble with thinking myself out of negativity, then it often works well to change my headspace by using my body. So I go for a 20-minute workout, and I just do some yoga. I love doing that because once I do yoga, it helps to relieve all the pain, the things that are bothering me, and this helps me to release inner tension and worries, and it makes my mind focused and constructive once again. So just by doing 20 minutes, it's better than you do 20 minutes 3 times per week than you do 2 hours 1 time per week. Okay? And don't let the vague fears drag you down, because one common mistake people make when it comes to fear, and that I've made many times, is to become scared and run away from them, instead of taking a closer look. So I will just, it's from the childhood as well. What did we what did you grew up with? Okay, and it's of course natural to feel that impulse and to want to avoid it. But when fears are vague, they can become so much scarier than they need to. Okay, so what can you do? One thing that has really helped me is this question, what's the worst that could happen in this situation? Because we are replaying scenarios every single day, what can happen, what could have happened. We're just building it up every single day. But when you start to ground a fear like that, and you begin to look at it with your feet firmly planted on the ground, then you most often realize that the worst that could actually happen isn't really that bad. How many things did you were thinking it in your mind, but it didn't really happen? It's often something you can make a plan to come back from, when you can just, anytime you can just remove yourself out of this negativity, out of this fearful thought. And you can also probably start listing and also taking action on a few things that will reduce the likelihood of this worst case scenario happening. Okay, so by doing this, you gain clarity about the situation and what you can do about it. And also the fear is just observe it. Okay, because when you observe it, the fear tend to become quite a lot smaller than just ignoring it. Okay, so don't ignore, don't judge it, just observe it. Now, if you get stuck in so many negative thoughts or victim thinking, then one of the simplest ways to get out of your own head and also the thoughts bouncing around in there is to just focus outward and on someone else. By adding positivity to your life in some way, you can start to feel better and more optimistic again. Okay, so a few ways that you can add positivity in your life is to put yourself into a high vibration mode. And another way to add positivity in someone else's life, you know, when you make someone happy, you feel so like a personal satisfaction. Like, you know, when you're kind, just give a compliment to somebody, hold up the door or let them into your lane while driving your car, or just help out. Give people good advice, advice that have helped you, or help out with moving houses or planning or preparing for the party next weekend. Just be there. You know, someone has a problem, just be there, listen. Don't. Sometimes it's better not to give advice. Just listen for a few minutes in a very focused way as someone is telling you something or telling you about their difficult situation. Okay, don't take your mobile and then you're listening and then you're scrolling. Just be present, because people don't want you to give advice, they just want a listening ear. And also be grateful for the few things that you have that you all, like, maybe you take for granted. Because when we get negative, it's so easy to forget the positive things in life, especially the ones that are just a normal part of life that we may take for granted a bit too often. A few such things that I like to put my attention on and really feel grateful for during such negative times are, like, I have a roof over my head during the cold nights and the rainy and the windy days, and I have clean water. I can have as much clean water as I want. I have helpful, kind family, supportive friends, people that I can count on. Okay, so these are the few things that make me feel lucky. And something else. Start tomorrow in a way that sets a positive tone for the day. Okay? How you start your day often sets the tone for it. Like a pessimistic or negative start of the day makes it hard to turn things around. But a positive start makes it a lot easier to just keep going with that emotion and the optimistic way of thinking until it is bedtime again. And a couple of simple things to get your day off to a positive start is a simple reminder that you see right after you wake up. You can just put a little reminder when you wake up, like you have this thing in front of you. Could be one or could be a couple of quotes that inspire you, or maybe you've written down your goal or a dream that you are most passionate about right now, or can be anything, an affirmation, a mantra, anything. So the first thing that when you wake up, this should be in front of you. Okay, just write it down on a piece of paper and just place it on your bedside table or on the fridge, or just type it in as a part of the lock screen on your smartphone. You can just write, I am enough, like it's very powerful affirmation, I am enough. And get some positive information, get some positive conversation flowing into your mind. Don't let yourself be dragged into like news, into what's going on around you. It's reality, but the moment that you put yourself out there, like seeing all these things, it makes you feel miserable. Listen to podcasts, read new blog posts or a chapter in a book that's motivating, that motivates you or that makes you laugh. Watch funny movies or have a fun or uplifting conversation with your partner, with your kids, with your colleagues, co-worker, friends, whoever. Okay? And here's the next step. Now you may think to yourself, this is really helpful information, but what's the easiest way to put this into practice and actually make a real change with the negative thinking in my life? All these can be done when you develop a certain distance from the mind by becoming an observer. It looks easy, but you will get it with practice, but you need to practice it. You have to be consistent. Okay? So it's not one day you do it, the next day you forget about it. Okay? And finally, it comes to sitting quietly, watching the mind, knowing its mood contents, without the label of meditation. I would say that practice of quietude, observance of thoughts, analyzing them without judgment is needed here. We can look at our mind as a troubled child and with loving kindness. Okay? And we must decide what is wisdom. We're all human, right? Like, we're all human and we all have a life of ups and downs. There is no such thing as a master, only people who may help each other. This is what I've learned from my life. Maybe it will strike a chord with someone, but for me it really was, when I was doing something like inspiring someone or motivating someone, I will just say that like the universe or God, whatever you believe in, use me, use my voice, use my hand to heal people. Just use me, because sometimes, when you help people achieve what they want in life, you feel so good about yourself. You feel that you've done something today, something very constructive, that's something that you're proud of. Even if it's only one person that you've touched, it's like your life is meaningful. Okay? So if you can do one thing, just focus on one thing that you can do, starting with one person per day. Your life, before you go to sleep, it's like you've done something. Okay? And you don't have to show it. You don't have to take pictures and show to people, see what I've done. If you go to charity, you're doing things, you don't have to take pictures. Just do it from your own heart. So, hope this was helpful. And if you have any question, you can just send me a question in the link below. And you take good care of yourself and subscribe if you want to have more content like these. And have a beautiful evening. Thank you. Bye-bye.